All right, how's it going? I'm just going to go through. I want to quickly go through the seasonal weapons from Season of Plunder and Season of the Seraph, and just kind of look at some stuff that is worth chasing and crafting the before Lightfall. So, what should you prioritize before going into Lightfall? Since obviously you're starting to run out of time. So only really going to be looking at crafted weapons and seasonal content. So for seasonal content, we've got Disparity, we've got Tripwire Canary, Judgment of Kelgarath, Veli's X. So I'm just kind of going through, looking at this season, looking at what I think is worth grabbing. Just all of this. Really good season for weapons. Absolutely huge. And then all stuff will stay. So we'll go through this first. Disparity, 4 burst pulse rifle. Decent recoil direction is base. So you can go something like corkscrew. You can get something like accurized. You go steady rounds if you want the AE. You can go flared mag for stats. You've got rabbited. You've got outlaw for PvE. And then you've got damage for you got frenzy. You got headstone. You got one for all. For PvP, you've got Headseeker, you've got Swash for both. You've got Desperado and Kill Clip, both good in PvP. Kill Clip even is decent in PvE. My current one is just Enhanced Rapid Hit, and then I switch the damage perk depending on what game mode I'm playing. And then I want to say I want Accurize, and I want a Stability Masterwork. We can actually just look. There it is. Yeah, Fluted, Accurize, Enhanced Rapid Hit, and then I change this perk. So really, you can do whatever you want. It's an extremely flexible weapon with a lot of really good rolls. And then it's got Hawkeye Breach Armaments, which is probably one of the better origin traits, especially in PvP, because it makes it so easy to deal with barricades. And even in PvE, if you take it with Headstone, you don't even need to take the fragment that increases your damage. 2 crystals. Moving on to Tripwire Canary, I finished this earlier. Enhanced Dragonfly, Enhanced Swash for me was the play with Fiberglass Air Shaft and Polymer String. And then I believe I went Accuracy Master. So just get as much accuracy as you can. You can get the draw time lower if you went with something like Elastic String, which would actually max it all the way out. But then you're tanking your accuracy by quite a bit. So that is up to you. But it does get it down to the absolute bare minimum draw time without using something like Archer's Tempo Successful Warm-Up, which is another option you can go with. I just chose not to. I think Enhanced Dragonfly gives you reload speed, which is handy. Enhanced Swashbuckler increases the buff timer to 6.5 seconds, which is it's good in PvE and insane in PvP. If you get a kill with a solar melee, procs radiant, proc swashbuckler, so for 6.5 seconds you get a one shot with a bow with 500 draw time. Really good combination. So that is what I would go with. You could also go Archer's Tempo, Successful Warm-Up, obviously. You could also go something like Frenzy as your damage perk instead of Swashbuckler. It's an option. Some flexibility. There's a lot of perks in here that really aren't that great. But the good rolls more than make up for it. So I highly recommend trying to get this in some form. You can craft it for Enhanced Swashbuckler even better. At bare minimum, play through the Season Pass. Get Overflow close to melee. Even if it's not enhanced, the base roll is like really good. I don't remember what this is, but it's like Light Mag Overflow close to melee. Absolutely amazing glaive. Close to melee is really good. I really enjoy it on Warlock. Usually I'll go something like Devour. Or I'll use Karnstein's Gets healing from that. Really good after all the glaive changes. I highly recommend that. There's also, you can also use it with something like necrotic grips, and then your melee kills will overflow your Osteostriga magazine. It's just really, really good and really, really fun. It's also enhanced surrounded if you wanted to, but I don't think that's, and like the Lubres combo, but I don't think that's the play on this gun. I think close to melee with overflow is definitely what you should be going with. Veli's X, I highly recommend pick a double rep weekend and just go for it. The barrel is actually like the single worst thing they could have picked. I think it's awful. I really wish they had gone with Arrowhead, because this thing is just terrible, terrible handling. Even with a handling masterwork, it's just not very good. But good combination, especially if you're a hunter that loves using Gear Falcons. Repulsor Brace is really, really good on this gun, because then you still get a damage perk to go with it. I usually just stick with Kill Clip. I think it's more consistent. If I was on Titan, I'd probably go Golden Tricorn, maybe Warlock, but I just prefer Kill Clip. It's consistent. Because you will be killing enemies with Gear Falcons at least, so why not just use Kill Clip because it's free. Kel's SMG. It's a primary weapon. It is an SMG, which as everyone knows is good in PvE. And then you get Volt Shot on it. And then you're done. The rest of this doesn't matter. Threat Detector, Killing Wind, Dynamic Sway, Perpetual Motion, Feeding Frenzy. I mean, even Shoot to Loot if you wanted. Just combo that with Volt Shot. For PvP, you would go Dynamic Sway, Rangefinder. PvE, you technically do have Enhanced Surrounded or Frenzy if you wanted to like switch it up, I guess. But like, this is probably the best primary weapon that we've gotten that has had Volt Shot, so I don't see why you wouldn't go with that, especially with Seraph rounds. Fire and Forget. It's a Stasis 3 burst with Vice Stinger. There's really not a whole lot to say here. You go Field Prep. You go a damage perk of your choice. I think Focus Fury is the best. It's 20%. Field Prep means you don't need the reload speed from Frenzy. Vice Stinger and High Impact Reserves are a bad combination. It's just kind of a no-brainer. Now that said, it is sometimes a little difficult to hit crits with a 3 burst all the time if the boss is moving, but I think you can kind of work around that. Like for as just if for a stationary boss that isn't a million miles away, this is the best damage weapon in the game, bar none. Retrofit Escapade. Enhanced Target Lock gives damage increases by an improved amount the longer this weapon remains on target. Absolutely insane perk, especially if you're a hunter. Combo that with 4th times, and it's actually like respectable boss DPS. I think they fixed it, so it's not quite as good, but I think it's still the single best legendary LMG in the game, except besides maybe Commemoration. And even Commemoration, again, it's a raid weapon, it takes you a while to craft it. That isn't going anywhere. I'll worry about, I mean, maybe I'll review it at the end of the video. Why not? Okay, Season of Plunder. Hang on, let me check. Yeah, you still can't do this. You've got to go to Season of the Plunder. Let's see. This was the last season. This has a good roll. This season was a little rough, I'm not gonna lie. Skip those heavy weapons. Yeah, so this season was a little dry. A lot of these weapons were from events, and then you're also playing King's Fall a lot, and that was where all your guns were coming from. The seasonal weapons, both the heavies were terrible. But no reprieve, shotgun, slug. Honestly, good perks for both game modes. Surplus and like I don't know, harmony or steady hands, harmony even for PvP. And then for PvE, you could go triple tap, and you go enhance surrounded, or you could go focus fury. Either one. Focus fury is a little more consistent. Enhance surrounded is like the highest possible damage weapon, or at least special in the game, but very situational. It's still, I think it's worth trying to craft if you can, just because it's get the pattern so that if you do need it for some reason, you can craft it. It isn't a must-have, but it is. I highly recommend it just because your other option is trying to get heritage from DSC, which is very good in its own right, but it's a little different. Because you won't be generating ammo, you'll just be burning through it more efficiently. So it kind of depends on what you're looking for. Tarnished Metal, I think, is probably the better and actually the better endgame Volt Shot option compare over the Achilles SMG just because of range, even if it's not better in general content. Again, enhanced rapid hit or normal rapid hit, up to you. With honestly any like this gun is really good. Volt Shot, explosive payload even it's very good in endgame content. Swashbuckler, multi-kill clip, focus fury. For PvP, you've got like moving target, Eye of the Storm, a lot of good options. The only kind of disappointing thing is it has demolitionist, but it doesn't have adrenaline junkie. And as far as I know, demo does not work with Volt Shot. But I'm not 100% sure about that. It may, but I don't remember. So yeah, rapid hit Volt Shot is what I went, but you've got a lot of options. It's a very good gun. I really like this sidearm. Most people that I know of do not. It is kind of eh. At least PvP players don't like it, which is weird because it's got a very PvP-centric origin trait. But for both PvP and PvE, you've got a lot of options. You've got Swash. You can go Pugilist Demolitionist for the regen. You can go Adagio for the damage. You got Rangefinder. You got Volt Shot. You got Enhanced Surrounded. And then in third column, you've got Hipfire is a useful perk. Killing Wind is a good perk. Pugilist, good perk. Perpetual Motion, Threat Detector, both good perks. There's a lot to like. So if you like a rapid fire frame sidearm, and you maybe don't have the Vanguard sidearm that is a similar frame, I think this is a better gun, IMO. And you can craft it, but obviously there's some debate. The Vanguard one does have kill clip. Even post-nerf, it's still a very good perk on that gun. And the Seraph origin trait is really good. And a lot easier to use in Crucible than Right Hook, even though this is very good. So it just kind of depends on what you're looking for. I really like this with Enhanced Killing Wind, Enhanced Volt Shot. I think it works well in PvE and PvP. But again, kind of personal preference. Okay, so let's go to D2 Gunsmith. See if this is updated. Okay, it has. So we'll just go through the DSC weapons since they've been updated. So what I currently have on mine is Range Masterwork, Small Bore, Accurized, Volt Shot Frenzy. I haven't bothered to enhance either of them. They don't really do enough. I just think it's a synergistic combo. Frenzy gives you damage, so you can get a kill easier, can reload quickly, and jolt to target. Unfortunately, Jolt Shot does not proc the origin trait. Yeah, it doesn't proc Rampage stacks. And the bonus damage from any damage perks Don't work with it. Doesn't give you regen on Pugilist. It actually probably does work with Gut Shot Straight, just because Gut Shot Straight is kind of weird. Gut Shot Straight does work with Incandescent, so I would assume it may actually work with Jolt Shot. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't think that is a worthwhile use of a perk slot. At least on this gun, just because you have so many better options. You go Killing Wind Rampage, Rapid Hit Rampage, Wellspring Pugilist if you would like, Wellspring Rampage, Wellspring Frenzy. Like there's just better options. I'm not real big on Reconstruction on a primary. I think Surplus is a very good perk, but it is kind of outshined by Rapid Hit on this gun. So there's options. I would just bear in mind with Volt Shot that it doesn't really combo with Rampage, Focus Fury. It's only really useful with Frenzy, and even then you're not getting a whole lot out of the perk, just because it's just kind of weird. I really wish they would change how it works, but it'll probably never happen. Because it would be kind of OP if it got the bonus damage from Rampage. Because you could just zap some people in Crucible. Heritage. Deprecated perks, Outlaw and Dual Loader. But it gained a bunch of extra stuff. So on this, Reconstruction is a very good perk. Recombination is solid. I think the go-to for PvE is going to be Recon Focus Fury or Demo Focus Fury. I think either one is going to be very good. If you're a Warlock and you abuse Starfire, Demo Focus Fury is probably the way to go. For everyone else, it's going to be Reconstruction. For PvP, I think you've got a couple of options. I think Hipfire and Offhand Strike is going to be the combo. For a Hipfire focused build. For normal kind of ADS type build, I think Slide Shot or Threat Detector. I would lean Threat Detector personally, with Moving Target or Swash. Swash will let you one-hit kill if you get 5 times stacks. That includes body shots. Moving Target, obviously it just gives aim assist and you move faster while ADS, so it works very well. Succession. So I got the PvP roll for this. I got Firmly Planted and Snapshot. I think if you want to go this route for PvP, it is actually worth your while to double Enhance, because Enhanced Firmly Planted is very good, and Enhanced Snapshot gives you stability, which helps with anti-flinch. So you just need a lot of handling on this gun. There's no way around it. For PvE, you're going to want Recon, and then you're going to want Firing Line. If you don't have friends, you're going to want Vorpal instead, but I think if you're doing this raid, you have friends, so do Firing Line. Alternately, you could, I suppose, go Demolitionist for the reload, but I think it's a special weapon. I think Reconstruction is fine here. You're going to get a double-sized mag. Extended mag pushes you, like with, so, hang on, where's boss spec? So I think, if I remember correctly, if you have extended mag, you can put a backup mag on it, and it'll push you to 5. If you boss spec, it'll go to 4, but tac mag, oh, it doesn't have appended mag. Interesting. Okay, so by default, it's 3. Extended will push you to 4. You can put a magazine on for 5. This is probably as good as it's going to get. That'll double up with Reconstruction to 10. Enhanced probably... Okay, no. Enhanced only reloads faster. It doesn't increase capacity. So yeah, this is probably the way to go for PvE. You're gonna lose out on the boss spec damage, which is a fair amount, but it's probably worth it in the end. I don't know. I think that is something I'll have to test. I'm really not sure. That involves math. But yeah, still good gun. Go craft it. Bequest. Highest impact sword in the game. It just straight up deals the most damage. It has the highest base impact. It's not really all that close either. So you want to go Swordmaster's Guard. You want to get Jagged Edge. Highest possible impact. After that, you can kind of do whatever. Chain Reaction damage works with Brain Inheritance. And if you get kills, it also works with Wellspring. Why you'd be using a sword as your regen weapon, I don't know, but you do you. I think, personally, your best bet is Relentless Strikes with probably Vorpal. Swords are only ever really used for boss DPS. If you want to use Chain Reaction, feel free, but I think if you want a Chain Reaction sword, Hero of Ages does it better. You can also go Enhanced Surrounded, but again, it's extremely situational. So you've got to keep that in mind. Commemoration. I think this is the single best PvE LMG in the game for Adclair. I think the target lock one I showed earlier that I forget the name of is better for single target damage. This is better for Adclair. Recon or Subsistence with Killing Tally. And you're done. The rest of it doesn't matter. Ideally, I think you would want a range or stability masterwork because this thing already has ungodly high handling for a machine gun. There's also adaptive munitions if you want to go that route. That could be useful. It's also got repulsor brace. Again, if you're Deer Falcon's hunter, maybe like Subsistence repulsor brace would just be a really easy way to generate overshield ninjas. But I do think Recon Killing Tally or Subsistence Killing Tally is the way to go on this gun. And now the gun that I would really like to get a good roll on. I've forgotten the name of. Trusty, there we go. I want Pugilist, Incandescent, and I want to enhance them both. Obviously, you do have some other options here. You've got Rapid Hit. You've got Swashbuckler, which I actually did not realize this was here, but that's also very good. So you could go Pugilist Swash. Perpetual Motion is very good. Rapid Hit is very good. It just kind of depends on what you're looking for. If you want the most regen you can get, if you mostly play Solar, then Enhanced Pugilist, Enhanced Incandescent is going to be your best bet. And Bray Inheritance procs every time Incandescent deals tick damage to an enemy. So you get a lot of regen out of it. And you can combine that with Pugilist, obviously, which will give you even more energy back, just specifically on your melee. The downside with rapid fires is they usually have low handling. If you deal melee damage, improves the weapon's handling. All three classes are super dependent on their melee, so it synergizes well. But that said, something like Perpetual Motion is very good. It's free stats. Rapid Hit is extremely good. If you were going to do either of these, I would then combine it with Swashbuckler. Go for like a PvP focused build. Get the one hit, and then basically you've got old kill clip damage on a rapid fire with really good stats. As far as I know, the only other rapid fires that have kill clip are the new one, the Viced one that I don't have, and the Gambit one that no one wants to grind for. So either one, you got a lot of options. So whatever you want to go for, you go